The Trial of Anubis. In the stillness of the afterlife, beneath a sky that shimmered with the weight of countless souls, there stood Anubis, dark, enigmatic, the god of judgment, his eyes, glowing with ancient wisdom, fixed upon the heart of the soul before him, trembling on the edge of eternity. This was no mere ritual. This was a trial where the heart would be weighed against the truth. You stand before me, Anubis spoke, his voice like the whisper of winds through desert sands. And your heart shall be weighed. Will it be light, or will it sink under the weight of your sins? The soul, a man from a distant land, trembled, his heart pounding like a drum in his chest. He had lived a life of ambition, of power, of deeds that echoed in the streets, yet buried beneath those accomplishments were secrets. Secrets he had long buried in the shadows of his past. The weight of those secrets pressed upon him now, suffocating. As the man stepped forward, the great scale of truth was revealed, glistening under a pale moonlight that seemed to pulse with anticipation. Anubis placed the man's heart upon one side. The other side, empty, awaited the judgment. The scales hung still. A hush swept through the ethereal courtroom. Every breath felt like an eternity. Anubis spoke again, this time with a cold edge to his voice. Tell me, soul of the living, how did you live? What truths did you conceal from the world and from yourself? The man stood there, frozen in the weight of the question. His past flooded back to him. The lies he told, the betrayals he committed, the friends he had abandoned, the family he had neglected, the truth he feared. Every action, every decision, now felt like an anchor, pulling him deeper into the abyss of his own making. A long, painful silence stretched between them. Finally, the man's voice broke through, a whisper at first, then growing in strength. I was selfish, he admitted, his words trembling with the weight of guilt. I sought power, but I abandoned those who needed me. I closed my eyes to the suffering of others, thinking only of my own glory. Anubis's eyes narrowed, his gaze never leaving the soul. And now you are judged by the very heart you once thought so powerful. But the heart cannot lie, can it? The scales began to move. First, there was a subtle shift. The man's heart, heavy with remorse, began to rise. The truth, raw and unflinching, began to lighten it. It wasn't redemption, but it was acceptance. The scales were no longer tipping in favor of sin. Do you understand, soul of the living? Anubis asked, his voice softer now. True weight is not measured by what you take, but by what you give. Your truth has set you free. With a final, decisive motion, the scales balanced and the heart remained aloft, suspended in the air like a beacon of something new. The man fell to his knees, overwhelmed by the weight of his revelation, not of punishment but of truth. He was not perfect, but he had faced his past, and in that confrontation, he had found a measure of peace. Anubis nodded, his gaze softening. Go now, into the realms of eternity. Your heart is light, and your path forward, yours to choose. As the soul stepped forward, the dark figure of Anubis vanished into the shadows of the afterlife, his task complete. The trial was over. If this story resonated, please like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment below and help the channel grow.